Hey guys, what's up? Alright. It's Double Deuce back. Finally, it's been a while since I put a video up. I've been crazy busy. Today's video is going to be about, a couple of things about me, and most of it about you guys, and the water pump for the ENJOMORE V8. I discovered some kind of weird things here, and I want to go over that with you guys. So grab your favorite smoked beverage popcorn and hang out with me today. Alright, here we go. Now, you see a lot of things on the table here. I took a week off, rolled home, visit friends, family, take care of mama, and it's like pick up some things and bring them back. So this project here with the ENJOMORE V8 has sat for about a month. Okay, now they do give you a storage recommendation in the manual when you get it, but here it's kind of weird here because a lot of people have ran these on water, not antifreeze. So I ran mine on antifreeze, and when I came home, I've seen a lot of failures of the pumps. Okay, and I was expecting the worst because I went to turn mine and it was locked up. So now the belts on these down here are like the 2mm teeth. These are the gigantic ones for the timing. See how big them cogs are up there? And then if you look at these down here, they got this really fine 2mm belt spacing. But so as I went to turn it, it didn't want to hear it. So anyways, I was done unpacking from my trip and trying to recoup the drive. It was seriously 10 hours down, 10 hours back, and I drove a Kia Soul. So it was different. I'll put it that way. Me, I like something with a V8 muscle car, a little bit of room. So anyways, it wasn't bad. I put my ski mask on so nobody'd see me and I wouldn't get my butt kicked. And not for nothing, on the way back I started kind of liking the car in a way. But anyways, when you spend that much time with something in your life you don't like, you start finding good things about it, to deal with it. So anyways, I tore my water pump off today, and it was seized. I couldn't even turn it. And now, like I say, if you run water, even distilled water, it's brass and steel with cheap bearings inside. Now, I ran antifreeze, so it should have been lubricated, with the mixture inside the antifreeze that we use in all our automotive engines. And I wasn't too worried, if you run water, I wasn't worried about the inside the engine because it's all powder coated. And so it's protected, so there's no raw aluminum inside the engine, where the Conley V8 over there, that's all raw aluminum and steel, sleeves. Where these, if you've seen my other video where I tore this thing completely apart and showed you the heads, it's all aluminum with a water jacket that's powder coated, and the sleeve set inside the aluminum, so there's no bare contact with water to the sleeves or anything like that. And so anyways, I tore it apart. There was no rust in it, nothing. It was very clean, and I was really surprised it was locked up and I couldn't figure it out, and I'm still kind of working on that. And I've seen some ugly pictures of these water pumps here recently with a lot of corrosion inside, and where I was expecting the worst when I opened it, and it was super clean inside. Everything was just stuck, and I couldn't figure out why, and I still don't know why. But I want to give you guys some tips on tearing it apart. Okay, first off, you're going to take off the 2 screws on the side that mount it to the front of the block here. Okay, there's 2 tapped recessed openings here to put your screws in to hold this pump on like that. Alright, now normally what I do is I don't take the belt off, I just loosen the pump and the pump comes off, and then when I reinstall the pump, I hook it in the belt and then tighten it up because it is kind of tight. It could use a little bit of slack in there if you ask me, because them belts get really hot, especially with the 2mm teeth on them like this one here. I'll show you guys the 2mm teeth there. They're really small. They heat up pretty bad, and so now I've talked to other hobbyists who's bought these things, and one of them was going to make an adjustable plate for this with a tensioner. I think that would be the smart thing to do, have a tensioner, because it's got cogs on it. So, but however, if the pump locks up and you try to start it, or if it locks up while it's running, you're going to wipe the belt right out. And being it's so hard to get belts for these engines, you know, well, you can contact Sterling Kit and you can get the belt for it, but I've been through that with the other engines. The belts come, they don't fit, you know, and it takes a month to get them, if that, even that, you know what I mean. So anyways, I'm gonna turn the video close up here on this pump, and I'm going to show you guys how to take it apart without ruining the seal. Okay, because I've never had this one apart before. I've had the other one apart, which had a plate on the front with bearings, a plate on the back with bearings, and then it had your 2 nipples for that. Now that was the prototype engine, and it did leak, and I ended up making a plate for them when I sent it back, and what they did was they made it all one housing here. So anyway, so hang on a second, I'm going to spin the camera around here. We're going to get a close-up of this, the seal, and I'll show you guys, you know, a little hobby screwdriver to adjust your carbs. That's how you're going to take it apart. So anyways guys, here we go. Yeah, we're back. So it's a simple pump design. It has, you know, an outer and an inner housing, 2 nipples, and inside it's got 2 bearings down in there that are roller bearings. Now you see mine has a little bit of corrosion in the housing there, even though I ran antifreeze in it. Now if you look closely on the outer edge here, you'll see a recessed area here that goes all the way around the pump. That is for this little seal right here, just a tiny little rubber O-ring here. And when it's up together, all right, it's almost impossible to get it apart, especially if it's froze up. So you're going to have to get a little screwdriver and start working it back and forth. Don't pry inward, because you'll wipe the seal out. Okay, when you do get it in there, try to pry outward and keep moving it around the housing to get it out. And once you get it so far, you'll be able to take a bigger screwdriver or flathead and get in there and just pull it apart. So now, from what I've understood on this engine, there are, like I say, a storage recommendation for, but I'm going to have to read it again because I didn't see anything about. They say to drain the fluids, okay, like your oils and your fuel and your antifreeze, but you're going to have to take your pump apart if you're going to store it for a long period of time, especially if you ran water in it, because even with antifreeze, this thing locked up on me and I couldn't figure it out. So I think it's the bearings inside here. Now there is a subscriber out there who I just got back in contact with when I come home from vacation. He has been extensively working on the ENJOMORE V8, and he had the pump problem. A lot of other people have had the pump problem where they just corrode right up. Now, one of the recommendations that I was told was get 2 5mm stainless shafts and remove the gears from them and cut the shafts, and then inside here and inside here in the front plate there's 2 bearings also. Okay, if you can replace these little bearings with a bronze bushing, they do sell them out there. They're all kinds of, you can buy packages of these bearings from Traxxas and all the other, you know, RC manufacturers out there sell a bronze bushing. Being that it only moves water, I think the bronze bushing will be fine, because it's not going to like corrode and weld the steel shaft to the steel bearing inside there. It's always going to be free. The problem is getting these bearings out of here. One of my recommendations is take a 5mm shaft that fits the bearing, and I believe it's 5. It's either 4 or 5, but I'll double check that. It looks like a 5 to me. And then put some grease on the end of the shaft, poke it in the hole, and just lightly tap. The grease will push downward and push the bearing out, and that way there you're not, you know, destroying the housing, or, you know, or marking it up trying to fish these things out of there, because there's no way to get them out from the backside. None. You know, as you can see, even inside where the nipples come in there, they're not even close to the bearing, so you won't even be able to, you know, catch the edge of the bearing, you know. So try the grease method. Remove the seal before you do any kind of work to it, because this thing looks like it would be really hard to find. I don't know what size this O-ring is at all, but it sets inside a machine groove inside the housing here. So that's what I'm working on today, and you know, because I haven't had a lot of time to spend on the old project here because I've been so busy. And so I'm going to turn the camera back around, and now we're back. So it's a simple design. I've seen other pumps out there, and I'm kind of wondering if they're going to have that problem with the corrosion and the steel together, because we all know in a humid environment or anything wet, and you know, once it comes to air and heat, rust forms on everything. So, but anyways, like I said, I wanted to catch up with everybody because it's been, like I say, probably about a month, I think, since I threw up a video. And so I've been, you know, working, planning on a trip home, catch up with, like I say, everybody down there. And I had a great time, you know, and, you know, I highly suggest, you know, getting away from the madness of your own life to, you know, kind of step out of the realms, and, you know, even if it's just for a few days. You know, basically I was only down there 5 days, and 2 days were driving, and so it wasn't bad. And I got to catch up, and I seen that, you know, cousins and stuff, they'd open up a brewery down there with a nice restaurant and bar going on. You know, like my uncle, he hooked himself up with a really awesome hunting camp, you know, and you know, it's good to see everybody living good, you know what I mean, because you don't get to talk to them much, so you worry. I couldn't hook up with any of my old high school friends down there because, one, I didn't have time, and even when I came back, I tried finding people. I don't know if they're not alive anymore or what, but everybody disappeared off the face of the earth down there. And so I've been up here a while, you know. So, but anyways, if anybody has any problems with their water pumps or anything like that, please contact, you know, Sterling Kit or wherever you bought the engine, and let them know, because, you know, this is a kind of a surprise problem that we're finding out now. So, and like I say, I tested the prototype on this engine, and it's a very well built engine. It just needs a little love, you know, like some things tightened up here and there, and I do commend them, you know, because when I was offered this to test from Sterling Kit, there was only a couple of these made, so it was fresh off the drawing board, and I was really surprised on how well the engine took a beating and was very reliable, except for the CDI, you know, hall sensors and all that stuff, which they're working on now. So I'm still waiting for my new CDI unit to come. I guess they've been testing the newer style system CDI unit, and I'm going to try to check that out when I do get it in the mail. And as I mentioned in one of my last videos, I did buy one of those L400 blocks with the center support bearing. So whenever that comes, I'll be on that too. So anyways, you know, I hope you guys have been great and well, and everything's okay in your world. It's good to get back to the hobby again. You know, when you're chasing your tail, you know, I'm one guy, I got to do everything. You know, pay the bills and beat the farts out of my laundry and feed myself and all that. And you know, and it's, you know, those of you out there are doing the same thing, you know how it is. It's not easy, and to come up with a good video to keep, you know, all my friends and subscribers out there, you know, the need, you know, for feed. So anyways, I'm still on it. I'm going to do a lot more work to this. I'm going to put the pump back together, and we're going to go from there. And like I said, the other subscriber that I have, his extensive research on using aftermarket CDI units. His version uses the lost spark method, which you know, where it fires twice in the cylinder, you know, and it does work. You know what I mean? It does work. So a lot of the motorcycles like Harley Davidson and all that with their twin coil packs, you know, one fires on the compression at top dead center, the other one fires at bottom dead center. So it's not like it's under pressure and going to ignite. It's just a lost spark, so that's what they call that. And I do see Johnny Q90 has come up with some spacers for the carb. And like I said before, this other guy, he's been crazy, like working on the carbs and stuff, because these are 2-stroke carburetors, not 4-stroke. 2 strokes need that pulse pump to keep the pump going. And that was one of my thoughts when I first got the engine, how when you revved it up, it seemed to like starve. It needed that, like an accelerator pump to shoot fuel down in there. And I'm wondering if there's a open vacuum leak in that pump hole that goes in the bottom of the carb. He plugged his and said it worked a lot better. One of my thoughts was, you know, what if we incorporated that pump hole, because that's what pumps the fuel. It's just the, you know, the pulsation of the waves of the air inside the engine keeps that little accelerator pump going in those there. So I don't know, it's like I say, it's all an experiment. The engine hasn't been out that long, but you know, I'm open, man. I'm gonna try everything. You know, I wanted to build a tunnel ramp for mine, and you know, my first thought was to try to get rid of those carbs that are on it and try different carbs, because you know, you don't know. I mean, I know they're kind of all built the same, but they're for weed whackers, chainsaws, you know, small engine equipment that are 2-strokes, and some of our 5th scale buggies and stuff have the same carb on them. And those carbs were designed for those two-stroke engines, not a four-stroke. So, anyways, guys, like, share, subscribe if you want. Tell your friends, family, whatever you want to do. Like, share, subscribe, and you know. And I'm still on it here, and I will get back with some new updates on some cool things. So, take care, man. Loved all. Later.